Sometimes, instead of you identifying the intercepts, I'm going to give you the intercepts, the x and y intercepts, and I'm going to ask you to draw a line through those intercepts. So in our first example there, I say draw the line that has the intercepts, x-intercept of -4 and y-intercept of 3. Well, remember, when we're talking about an intercept, we really mean that it is an ordered pair. It's a point. And we just talked about that at an x-intercept, our y value is always 0. And they're telling us that our x value is -4. So I'm going to draw that, excuse me, I'm going to draw that point, big fat point at -4, 0. Now my y-intercept, again, is an ordered pair. It's not just a number, it's an ordered pair because it's a point. And we talked about that on a y-intercept, our x value is always 0, and that they've given us, that was my phone going off. They've given us our y value is 3. So our y-intercept is a point 0, 3. And I've put a nice big fat point on my graph there. Then I'm going to get my line tool and I'm going to draw a line through those 2 points. Now notice I took my line all the way off the graph. I don't stop at the points. Those points are not endpoints. Those are just points through which my line goes. My line goes on indefinitely. I'd like you to do that when you're graphing as well. All right, so let's take a look at this next graph. It says graph x or 8x plus 4y equals 24 by finding the x and y intercepts. Whoa. Well, they haven't given us the intercepts, so first I have to find them, and then they want me to graph them. So I'm going to do this real quick, and then we're going to go into more detail. So to find the x-intercept, I am going to set my y value to 0. So I'm taking my equation, 8x plus 4, I'm throwing away the y, and I'm putting 0 in its place. And then I'm going to say equals 24. Now, 0 times anything is 0, so 4 times 0 crosses off, and I get 8x equals 24. I solve that, and I get that x equals 3. But remember, that's not the x-intercept. The x-intercept is a point, 3, 0. So I am going to plot that point on my graph. That is my x-intercept. I'm going to do that exact same thing with the y-intercept, except I'm going to put my 0 where my x is. So to find my y-intercept, I'm going to take 8, I'm going to throw out the x, put 0 in its place, then write down the rest of my equation. 0 times anything is 0, so I'm just going to cross that off, and I get 4y equals 24. I'm going to solve that, and I'm going to get that y equals 6. But again, this is an ordered pair. X or y, the y-intercept is 0, 6. Then I'm going to use my line tool, and I'm going to draw a line through those 2 points, the x and y intercepts. Make sure you take your line all the way off your graph. Okay, now we went through that way fast. So let's go to the next one, which is 2x plus 8y equals 24, and I want you to find the x and y intercepts. Actually, this question is on the test that we're going to give you. I don't remember what the equation is, but I'm going to give you an equation. I'm going to say find the x and y intercepts. Here's how I want you to do that. We're to find the x-intercept. You are going to set y equal to 0. Write that down. To find the x-intercept, you are going to set y equal to 0. Now, here's how I do that. I take my equation, 2x plus 8. I'm going to throw the y away, put 0 in its place, and then I'm going to solve this. And when I do, I get x equals 12. But it's not x equals 12. It is an ordered pair where the x value is 12, the y value is 0. That is my x-intercept. Make sure you are expressing it as an ordered pair. Now to find my y-intercept, write this down. You're going to set x equal to 0. To find your y-intercept, you are going to set x equal to 0. So I'm going to take my equation. I'm going to write down 2. I'm going to throw my x away. I'm going to put 0 in its place. I'm going to write down the rest of my equation and solve it. And I'm going to get that y equals 6. But remember, it's not 6. It is an ordered pair where the x value is 0, the y value is 6. So that y-intercept is 0, 6. Pause the video if you need to write all that stuff down. Okay, now we're going to do the exact same thing with this equation. Negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 15. To find my y-intercept, I'm going to set x equal to 0. So I'm taking my equation, and where the y is, I'm throwing the y away, and I'm putting 0 in its place. Then I'm going to solve that, and I'm going to get that x equals positive 5. Now be careful on this one because there's lots of negatives. So don't drop your negatives. Be bold with those. Write them down. But remember, it's not x equals 5. It is an ordered pair where x is 5 when y is 0. That is my x-intercept. To find my y-intercept, I'm going to set x equal to 0. So in this equation, I'm going to write down negative 3. I'm going to throw my x away, put 0 in its place, and solve this equation. When I do, I'm going to get y equals negative 3. But again, it's not negative 3. It is an ordered pair. X is 0 when y is negative 3. That is my y-intercept. All right. We have one last video that does the last example, and then you have some independent practice.